Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good day, whatever it is. Wow, it is dark in here. Let me see if I can fix that, since I do need light for the topic today. Yeah, that's better. Eventually, I'll get this whole light thing down, maybe. Oh, look at my colors. Yes. Again, professional, highly prepared broadcast as usual. Anyhow, um, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for those who find this video later on. Since I think yesterday I decided I was going to talk about coffee mugs, just because I talked about travel mugs when I first was starting this channel. Then I decided I was going to talk about coffee mugs because they came up in conversation with a friend, and also on one of the videos here. And a couple of other topics kind of kept popping up to distract me today because they made me very angry. One will be covered tomorrow because it's a dumbass that is suing people because only he has the right to criticize and only he has the right to freedom of speech. And he has a court thing tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. And then the other one were the knuckleheads in Germany who decided to throw mashed potatoes at a Monet. And they glued themselves to the wall. I'll talk about them at some point too, but they should leave those jackasses glued to the wall until they die, in my opinion. But now that we have all the negativity out of the way, I'm going to talk about coffee mugs. And if you're offended by my opinion of those activists, oh well, so be it. But I'm going to talk about the very silly topic of coffee mugs. I have a bunch of coffee mugs, not as many as some people. I have a friend who literally has, I think, 3 shelves worth of coffee mugs in her kitchen. I only have about half a cupboard worth of coffee mugs. But first coffee mug I'll talk about is the one that I have said that I realize it's my favorite mug. It's one I use the most often. And right now it has vanilla almond milk with a dash of vodka in it. Yes, because it's Sunday night, and why not put a little bit of vodka and some almond milk. But yes, this mug, I used to think it was from Starbucks. And then I started doing this YouTube stuff. And one day I was on camera and I did this. And I saw that on the bottom, it actually says it's from Seattle's Best, which makes this a lot older mug than I thought. That dates it around, I would have to say, probably 95, maybe 96. I suppose it could be as late as 97 or 98 when I was actually doing some, I would go to this Starbucks rubbish, this Seattle's Best near where I lived, and I would write there. So I could have purchased it at that time. But it is made by a company, and because it says exclusively made for Seattle's Best by Blooms Incorporated, Los Angeles. Try looking up Blooms Incorporated to see what else they may have. I couldn't find a company that was making what is this, drinkware, pottery, whatever. So either out of business or my Google Foo is weak, which I will admit that it is, especially when I'm looking for something called Bloom Incorporated and I'm only spending 3 minutes on it. So yes, this is my favorite coffee mug. Use it all the time. I actually use it for all kinds of things. It is, I don't know if it's the biggest one I have, because I think this might be the bigger one. I used to have one that was bigger than this. I dropped it. I smashed it. That happens a lot with mugs, actually. I drop them. So it's, some of these are really old. It's a miracle that they have lasted this long. But this one actually is also quite old. I think I've had this one since I lived in Utah, which would date this one from late 80s, early 90s, I would think. I do know this one was definitely a gift. Maybe it was a gift when I was moving to back east where it was cold. Well, it's cold in Utah, but I was moving to even colder states. The Wisconsin, Minnesota area. But this is cute. Superman says on the cup. And it's, oh, no, I know where I got this. It actually came with some soup mix that I bought at a county fair. I was manning a booth for the company I was working for at the time. And this other company was selling these soup mixes. And they threw in this mug, if memory serves. Yeah, that's how that came by this. So it's not from Utah. It's from actually where I currently live. So this one probably dates around it's more likely it dates from around 2004 or 5, I'd have to say. So not quite as ancient as my other mug. But yes, this one gets some use. Not a lot. It usually just is in the cupboard, turned upside down. But I recently, actually this morning, and I just spilled, had water out of it this morning, and there was still some water in it when I decided to turn this thing upside down. So Superman mug. Let's see. Then there's this one. This actually is the one that kind of started the topic of, hey, maybe I should talk about mugs. This is a mug. It's I'm assuming it's a very limited edition. I don't know how limited, but a friend of mine made this. He's an artist, goes by Stan exclamation point. He has a YouTube channel called the Stanex, and he does sumo. He talks about sumo wrestling every Friday night. He does live streams where he draws pictures. One of the live streams are linked on my page because he drew a cover for one of my upcoming books, Mystic Moot and His Magic Snoot. We released in early November, if current plans hold. But anyhow, I don't remember the circumstances under which this was made, but Stan on the Run. It's a pun on the song Band on the Run. Of course, I didn't need to state that, but it is. It's a cute pun on that, and I love puns. I of course love this mug, and was made by a friend to promote probably a book tour, a signing tour. I don't remember what it was, but it was Summer Tour 2001, whatever it was. So it could have been related to game conventions, because Stan is also a very talented game writer, and fiction writer, just all around talented guy. He might sing and tap dance as well, for all I know. I don't know. But yes, so Stan on the Run. This one is very easy to date because it has a date right on it, 2001. And we were also joking about Stan making a custom mug for me to drink out of when I'm doing these streams, rather than the old Seattle's Best mug. And yeah, what is with the light? I do not understand. Maybe some people that are more experienced in this YouTube stuff can tell me why it is that the light seems to go on and off for no reason I can discern. So, continuing with this absolutely riveting topic, we have this mug. Got a little monster on one side. Your ghost shows up. Okay, something arrives in the side chat. He just says, your ghost shows up at around 2:50 into the stream. You are about to say, oh, but the ghost's voice says, oh, instead. And so that's probably what's going on with the light. I'm going to have to ask you now whether you're making a joke or whether there actually is some sort of ghosting effect going on. Because if it's some sort of ghosting effect, I need to figure out what the heck that is. But yeah, there goes the light again. So, and again, even though I'm sitting perfectly still. Okay. Okay, so it's something to do with the internet connection. But there is a delay because from what I talk into the computer here, and when I turn around and look at the monitor that shows me what's actually going out, there's a 3-second delay. It reminds me a little bit about the old radio days where you had the dump button. So it's sort of that effect. I don't quite know whether that's intentional or just an artifact of the internet, because I don't know enough about it. But this is probably making me showing me that I should think harder about getting some camera that is not the built-in camera in the laptop, which is what I'm using right now. So if this is still fun and people still are mildly entertained by it, what are you talking about today? Breezy, I am talking about absolute nonsense. I'm talking about mugs out of my kitchen cupboard, just because the other couple of topics I had were making me kind of angry. Actually, I will be going into probably why there aren't any cursed mugs in fiction, but there aren't role-playing games. But yeah, talking about mugs. And right now we kind of digressed about me being confused about the technology, why the light flickers, and apparently you guys are subjected to some kind of weird audio effect and sort of delay in. Oh, actually, you know what? Oh no, that's just volume. That's sound volume that it's measuring. Well, I'm still trying to figure out the YouTube thing, and maybe it's the built-in camera, and I should invest in something better. At the end of the month, I think I shall probably do that. But yes, the topic is the riveting topic of coffee mugs. But yeah, I did actually think about it. I did want to get into the question of cursed mugs, because you have them in role-playing games. At least in D&D, there's cursed goblets, cursed cups. No, actually, the light in the room I'm in and that I'm taping in or broadcasting in, whatever the proper word is, streaming from, the light is steady and constant. But what's translating into the ether and out to you guys, the light goes dark, goes on and off, and I don't know why. Even when I'm sitting perfectly still, the light suddenly shifts. I mean, I've made jokes about the spirits interfering with the broadcast, but this light thing is getting a little irritating, because yep, there it goes again. And no, it is not. Yeah, maybe. Well, actually, I guess me being shadowed is probably to everybody's benefit. Like I say somewhere on this page, I have a face for radio and a voice for silent movies. Actually, somebody made that joke at work today about one of our coworkers. So I wonder if we stole it from the same source. Though I don't remember where I stole it from, but I'm pretty sure I stole it from somewhere. Well, back to the riveting topic of the mug, since there's nothing I can do about this darn light. I wish it was flickering on and off in the room, because that way I could address it. I mean, I even tried turning off the backlight on a couple of evenings, see if that made a difference, but it didn't seem to. Well, let's see if I can make the. Well, reason to try to get another camera, I guess, see if that helps out. Next time I'm ordering something on Amazon, I'll order a camera. Is the light LED? The lights that are in front of me are LED. The one in the ceiling, I have. Oh yeah, it is. It is too. Yeah, I just replaced the bulb, and it's an LED bulb. So, yeah. Well, is it? No, yeah, it is. It is. It is. At least it's one of those that they is low energy, long life, but horribly toxic and will destroy the environment and the planet and kill us all. But that seems to be the light bulbs that are available in the stores these days. And I'm thinking I should go back to talking about the somewhat more silly and cheerful topic of coffee mugs, like this one. This one, I know I've had this since the late 80s, very early 90s. And I don't recall exactly whether it was a gift from staff or whether it was a gift from one of my coworkers, but it was given to me around the time where I had my first, whereas the either I was associate editor or I think this was just when I was the feature editor that this was given to me. And so, yes, it would always be on my desk at work. and it followed me to other jobs that I had later on, where I was in some sort of supervisory or management position, and it was particularly useful when I was sort of given another title and moved into a different office, just because the new editor wanted someone that the newsroom wasn't familiar with, and that was me, since I was one of those weirdos in the back. Because she wanted someone to be the bad cop if it was necessary. So yeah, bad cop had this thing on his desk, and I am the, even then I was the absolute worst bad cop that you could cast, but they didn't know who I was. They thought I was sitting in my office scowling at them all day long, when what I was doing was just working on the articles and columns I had to write, and staring at the computer screen, because I always had it so I faced out toward the room. Ooh, Pac-Man mugs. Okay. So Breezy is telling me that they have some really cool mugs at Walmart and Cracker Barrel. Are you going to make me go to Walmart, Breezy? Really? Although last time I went to Walmart, I got a really excellent collection of movies on DVD, like 15 of them for very little money. Well, maybe I'll have to go to Walmart, see what they have mug-wise. Actually, another mystery mug. This one. You got a bunch of theater masks on it. It says New York, New York, New York, New York. Don't remember where I got it from. Maybe I got it in New York. Maybe someone was going to throw it out, and I just said, I'll take it. Or somebody was just cleaning out, and I took it. And there's this one. This one was, I know this one was given to me by a friend when I got some new cats, and those are the only children I have are cats. But they're children when you're single and dorky like me. And it says, "My dad can do anything." It's got the, oh my gosh, who was that guy? Tasmanian Devil. It's a Tasmanian Devil. And it's from the year 2000 or thereabouts. I know this because that's around the time I got those cats. And it is actually trademarked and copyright Warner Brothers 2000. So I guess Warner can thank me for free advertising, or they can come after me. Hopefully they'll do the former. What others? Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, this thing. Another thing I have absolutely no idea where I got it from. It's a promotional mug, sort of. Well, it is. It's from some company called Dermatology of Seattle, your skin and surgery center. To the best of my, I have never been to this place or interacted with this place, but yeah, and actually this is kind of a very useful little thing. You stir it and then you can put the spoon back. This actually, I don't think I've actually used this. It's sat out on the kitchen counter just kind of as a, oh look, it's on display in the cupboard since I moved to the new place. Just because I kind of have the same thought that Breezy does. It's a nice mug. I kind of like this whole thing, and it's just, well, if I use it, me being me, I might lose this spoon, and then this very cool little thing is no longer a cool little thing. But yeah, got this from somewhere. Actually, could have been one. It could have been that same show where I bought the soup from that one vendor. Perhaps these guys were there and I was chatting with them or something and they gave me a mug. I have absolutely no recollection. But yes, it is a very cool little mug. I agree. Great for tea, great for coffee. Oh, here's another one. Another promotional mug. It's for a company, ID Adventures. You'll see it says www.idadventures.com. And the ID in the original concept was for interactive design adventures. The idea that a couple of the folks involved with founding this company had was the website. It would be a place where would-be game designers or even just hobbyists could contribute to designing a role-playing game or a board game or some other kind of system. I don't know if that part of it ever came together because I was never really part of it. I worked on print products that the company did, including a role-playing game called Hicks, and then one of the early D20 system products that once Wizard opened up that license that I designed. I completely forget the name of it, but it was alternate psionics rules, and it was designed to kind of be more in line with the psionics you see in movies and fiction, and more fluid rather than the very rigid psionics in both the D20 system and in AD&D and D&D that existed up to that point. It, like stuff I've done for Nulo Games since, it was a system that used feats and skills, but play can mix and match. It was just more fluid than what had existed in the game prior to that point. ID Adventures, as I recall, lasted about a year and a half, maybe 2 years in the early 2000s, very early 2000s. And then everybody went their separate ways. So, but the mug remains. I have not dropped it yet. I have not broken it yet, and it remains. Mind Over Matter, yes. Thank you, Something Awry. Mind Over Matter, that was indeed the product. It's one of those that has been sitting in the Nulo Games queue for a couple of years now. Half redeveloped. Some art has already been selected for it, but we just need to get around to finishing it. But yes, Mind Over Matter. I still think that is a worthwhile product, even all these years later. Worthwhile design, all these years later, I should say. But yes, thank you for reminding me. Mind Over Matter. If anyone's been around me for enough time, you will know that I have no idea what I've worked on over the years. I mean, there are things people will show me and I'll go, wait, no, I didn't work on this. And then I'll look at the credits and go, oh, I guess I did. Okay. I was very bad about keeping track of things. I'm still kind of bad about keeping track of things. You know, the check comes in and the check cashes. That was sort of the standard that I applied. I mean, I remember my favorite things, although don't remember the titles, clearly. Mind Over Matter, I forgot the title, but yeah, Mind Over Matter, that was indeed the title. Let's see what else. Well, I'm down to the last few mugs. Thank you to people who stuck around for this. Another mystery mug. It's got a nice red lion. It's promotional. The Lion Rampant, interactive adventure game where the fantasy begins. So this must have been some online game. Again, I would assume it's like early 2000s or late 1990s. Maybe it came by at a Gen Con. Another mug, I have no idea. But it's in the cupboard. Stand on the Run, talked about that. Oh yeah, then there's this, again, just a nice normal mug. At one time, I had 4 of these. They were set. There were plates and stuff, and now there are 3 because one got dropped and broke into many pieces. We are down to the final 2 mugs. Christmas mugs. Just a cartoon Santa on this one. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Same cartoon on the side, on the back. This one I think was a kind of white elephant gift at one point. And this one got some classic looking Santa Clauses on there. This one I don't think has actually been drunk out of in years. It just kind of goes up on a bookshelf next to other Christmas things I put out, and that passes for Christmas decorations around here. I've had this one for a long, long time. Yeah, I have no idea where it came from, and there's no date, so probably somebody, maybe when I, moved away from home or something. That was one of the mugs that I wandered off with. I really couldn't say. But I did, when I was doing a little bit of research for all of this, I did kind of try to look up, are there any movies about cursed mugs? Are there any stories featuring cursed cups or mugs? And I came up blank. Again, could just be my Google foo is weak, but nothing on my shelves that when I flip through books. Not even flipping through Junji Ito comics did I see any cursed teacups or anything like that. So maybe it is just in D&D where there are cursed cups or blessed cups. And since I am hopelessly stuck on one particular design project, even though it's 3/4 of the way done, I'm just not happy with the rules in the last bit, so I'm still struggling with that. Maybe tomorrow I should write up some cursed mugs or something. Once I'm done raging about mashed potatoes being thrown at a Monet and a dumbass trying to silence his critics. But that's basically those are all the interesting mugs out of my cupboard. There are some just plain white ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 15, 14, 15. Yeah, I have about 20 mugs. That's a lot of mugs for a guy who lives alone with cats. But I guess it cuts down on doing the dishes, I suppose. No, I have a dishwasher. Once it's full, I run it. Yeah. Housekeeper. I'm great at it. Housekeeping, I'm great at it. Well, unless someone has any thoughts or topics they want to bring up, I'm at the end of the road. I'm coming up on half an hour, which was kind of the target, the sort of general range I set for these things, unless something else comes up. But yeah, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I probably do want to do something with either blessed drinkware, which actually, I think I actually already have written something about Christmas enhancing cups or mugs or something. I have to go look at the New Games blog to refresh my memory again. I don't remember half the stuff I do. But yeah, you pour liquid in here, either you get drunker or you get more sober. I don't know. I'll have to give that some thought tomorrow or maybe later tonight. And on that note, Breezy's out of here. Something Ariah's out of here. Everybody's out of here. So I guess that means I'm out of here as well. Thank you guys for coming by. Thank you for commenting in the side chat. I appreciate it. And I'm going to sign off now. We're going to push the button, number 1. Push the second button, and we are clear.